Not nearly enough is said or written today about finishing well. Lots and lots of material is available on motivation to get started and creative ways to spark initiative. Plenty of advice is floating around on setting goals and establishing priorities and developing a game plan. All of that is insightful and very needed. But let's hear it for the opposite end for a change. Let's extol the virtues of sticking with something until it's done, of hanging tough when the excitement and fun fade into discipline and guts. You know, being just as determined 8 minutes into the fourth quarter as at the kickoff. Not losing heart even though the project has lost its appeal. In his book, A Long Obedience in the Same Direction, Eugene Peterson expresses the same concern. He writes, "Our attention spans have been conditioned by 30-second commercials. It is not difficult in such a world to get a person interested in the message of the gospel. It is terribly difficult to sustain the interest. Millions of people in our culture make decisions for Christ, but many do not stick around. In our kind of culture, anything, even news about God, can be sold if it is packaged freshly, but when it loses its novelty, it goes into the trash can. There is a great market for religious experience in our world. There is little enthusiasm for the patient acquisition of virtue, little inclination to sign up for the long haul in what earlier generations of Christians called holiness." And he is right. I fear our generation has come dangerously near the "I'm getting tired, so let's quit" mentality. And not just in the spiritual realm. Dieting is a discipline, so we stay fat. Finishing school is a hassle, so we drop out. Cultivating a close relationship is painful, so we back off. Getting a book written is demanding, so we stop short. Working through conflicts in a marriage is a tiring struggle, so we just walk away. Sticking with an occupation is tough, so we start looking elsewhere. The "let's just quit" mentality is definitely upon us. Jan Paderewski, the famous composer-pianist, was scheduled to perform at a great concert hall in America. It was an evening to remember. Black tuxedos and long evening dresses, a high society extravaganza. Present in the audience that evening was a mother with her fidgety 9-year-old son. Weary of waiting, he squirmed constantly in his seat. His mother was in hopes that her boy would be encouraged to practice the piano if he could just hear the immortal Paderewski at the keyboard. So against his wishes, the little boy had come. As the mother turned to talk with friends, her son could stay seated no longer. He slipped away from her, strangely drawn to the ebony concert grand Steinway and its leather-tufted stool on the huge stage flooded with blinding lights. Without much notice from the sophisticated audience, the boy sat down at the stool, staring wide-eyed at the black and white keys. He placed his small, trembling fingers in the right location and began to play Chopsticks. The roar of the crowd was hushed as hundreds of frowning faces turned in his direction. Irritated and embarrassed, the crowd began to shout, "Get that boy away from there! Who'd bring a kid that young here? Where's his mother? Somebody please stop him!" Now backstage, the master overheard the sounds out front and quickly put together in his mind what was happening. Hurriedly he grabbed his coat and rushed toward the stage. Without one word of announcement, Paderewski stooped over behind the boy, reached around both sides, and began to improvise a counter melody to harmonize with and to enhance Chopsticks. As the two of them played together, Paderewski kept whispering in the boy's ear, "Keep going, son. Don't quit. Keep on playing. Please don't stop." And so it is with us. We hammer away on our project, which seems about as significant as chopsticks in a concert hall. And about the time that we are ready to give it up, along comes the real master, who leans over and whispers, "Now keep going. Don't quit. Keep on. Don't stop." And the master improvises on our behalf, providing just the right touch at just the right moment. Are there a few weary pilgrims listening to me right now? Is the road getting long and hope wearing a little thin? And do maybe some parents out there who are beginning to wonder if it's worth it all, this hard business of raising children, which includes cleaning up daily messes and living with all the responsibility? Or do you who have a dream, but seeing it accomplished seems too long to have to wait? Please listen to the Master whispering to you today. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. So many start the Christian life like a lightning flash, hot, fast, and dazzling. But how many people aged 60 and over can you name who are finishing the course with sustained enthusiasm and vigor? Oh, there are some. Here are 5 nonagenarians. That is, a person who's in their 90s. Of these 5 ladies, one just turned 90 and runs a church library. Another runs a ministry that provides shawls for people battling life-threatening illnesses. Another walks to church regularly. Another entertains her entire clan during the holidays. And the oldest at 99 still drives herself to church. These ladies don't quit. Life has thrown them some pretty severe blows, but they persevere. However, there are more who give up than those who tough it out. What happens along the way that swells the ranks of quitters? I really wish I knew that answer. And if I did, I'd shout warnings from the pulpit Sunday after Sunday. No, better than that, I'd stoop over and whisper those words to every discouraged person that I meet. Before it's too late, before he quits, and instead of mastering the classics, he settles for chopsticks.